Adam here with the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have the Nissan Ariya Engage Plus, and this is the e-4orce, or all-wheel drive model. So we'll look at the interior, the exterior, and then go for a spin around and see what it's like out on the road. All right, so now we're behind the wheel of the Engage Plus, so let's go for a little spin around. And to do that, we grab our little center console shifter here, drop it into drive, and you're off and running. Now, what's cool about this shift-by-wire system is that it frees up a ton of space in here. And one thing about EV or electric vehicles is they don't have the standard transmission tunnel. So you get a huge amount of space down by your feet for the front and the rear passengers. And this center console in the Evolve Plus actually moves. So it's power, so I can get it exactly where I want it to be, so I'm super comfortable when I'm seated in the car. Now let's look at the technology in here, because obviously the EVs are kind of the wave of the future and there's a lot of good stuff. To start, I've got my phone on the wireless charger and I've got wireless Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto in this vehicle. So when I got in, paired my phone up, it remembers it. So when I hop in, I've got my maps, my texting, all my Spotify, all that good stuff I need right here at arm's reach, and it makes it very convenient and safe when you're on the go. Then we have our 12.3-inch displays, so it's really cool. So on the steering wheel here, you can control what you want to see on the left side. Currently, I've got my maps pulled up on here, and then you can go through, you can see your music that's playing, you can also see all your safety settings, and there's basically your standard kind of trip computer and as well as your battery charge. So EV range anxiety seems to be something that gets brought up a lot when people are thinking about EVs. Now from where I'm driving right now, I can see 4 chargers over there. There's 2 chargers on the other side of the road. There's a lot of charging ports around and you're starting to see more and more pop up every day. If I go to the standard menu in the Ariya, I can actually get a driving range. Not talking about golf, talking about how far I can actually go before I would need to charge, and it will actually show you on the map where those are located and if there's even spots available at the amp up. There's lots of really cool stuff to eliminate that range anxiety and just to make sure you know where to go and how to charge. Now from there, charging is pretty simple. You've got your level 1, which would just be kind of your standard household outlet, and then you've got level 2, which you can use at home or even fast charging. So Nissan says with the fastest capable charging, this can go from 20 to about 80% in somewhere around 40 minutes. So this particular Engage Plus has the 87 kilowatt hours, so it's the larger battery, and it will have a total range in the all-wheel drive of about 272 miles. Now, depending on which one you're looking at, it can go up over 300 miles, but I've got 86% here on my screen currently, and it's still showing me a range of 270 miles. Now, this one does have the heated seats and the heated steering wheel, so obviously it's snowing a little bit today. So if you're using the heat and some of the electronics in here, the range can diminish a little bit more that way, but overall I've been very impressed with what I've seen from driving around this afternoon. So a few other things, this does have built-in navigation on our infotainment screen here, as well as your climate control settings. But what's really cool about the climate, there's haptic feedback controls just below the screen here. So you keep your standard volume knob as well as your track select so you can skip forward and back easily. And you've got the haptic feedback dual zone climate control. So that's really cool. It kind of ghosts away when you turn the car off, and then it makes it pretty easy to adjust, but you can also do it in the infotainment screen. That's also where you'll go to turn on your heated steering wheel and your heated seats. So how about the ride and drive? It's definitely pothole season here in Minnesota, so the roads are at peak terrible condition, and I found the Ariya to be really comfortable. Not only is it obviously extremely quiet without the engine, but the ride and drive is really nice, and there's a lot of room in here. I found with the adjustable center console and the seats, I'm pretty comfortable just cruising around. And what else is cool, I've got the heads-up display, so I can see my MPH, how fast I'm going, and the speed limit here. And then if I turn on my ProPilot, I can actually see my adaptive cruise control settings up there as well. Now what's cool about this vehicle is all the safety that's going to be built in. So you can actually have a kind of quick sort button on here that's going to let me go to driver assistance. I can control things like lane assist, my blind spot monitoring assist. There's a whole bunch of safety features that's going to make sure if you and obviously your family are in the vehicle, you're going to remain very safe. Now there also is an awesome backup camera in here, so when you pop that into reverse, that will pull up and it makes it a breeze to park. Plus, you are going to have parking sensors on the one side and then the camera on the other. So speaking of family, how about the cargo area in the rear seats? It's awesome. Like I said, without that transmission tunnel, you get a lot of room in the back, so you can actually put 5 adults in here and someone's not going to be mad that they're riding in the middle. Those seats are also going to be heated. There's USBs back there, and there is vents in the center, so everybody will be comfortable when you're on the go. Now, the cargo area is pretty good. There's a decent amount of space. You can actually lift up, and there's a little bit more room underneath as well, but the seats also kick down. So if you find yourself having to haul something, one of the kids needs you to move some stuff around, you're definitely gonna have enough space to do that, and it's a 60-40 split. So if you still need to keep someone in the back seat, you can actually leave one side up, one side down. It's pretty convenient. All right, so let's talk about our drive modes and E-Step. So E-Step, if you turn that on, you immediately feel the vehicle try to slow down. So what that's doing is using the regenerative braking system to help rebuild some of that battery or energy back. So you can turn that on or off down here, and then we've got our drive modes. So you've got Sport, Standard, Eco, and then a Snow mode, which hopefully we might not need too soon, but these, with the heavy weight of the batteries down low and the all-wheel drive system, they're pretty awesome in the snow. So it is a great vehicle to cruise through just because of that added weight. Definitely gives you a little bit of bite and traction, but the Snow mode can help you out in a pinch. The incentives right now on driving an EV are pretty awesome. I'll link our video below where we talk a little bit about how EV tax credits can work, especially in the state of Minnesota. There's a lot of benefits and great lease or finance options if you are looking at an Ariya. Now, the Engage Plus with the bigger battery gives you 389 horsepower. So if I put my foot down, you kind of get that Jetsons soundtrack, and this thing gets up and moves. I think it's 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds, which not that long ago, those would be pretty competitive numbers with some sports cars. So this thing is laughably fast. It's quiet and comfortable on the road, and there's a ton of great technology in here. Like I said, Apple CarPlay, I've got heated seats, a heated steering wheel, and I've got almost 300 miles of range in this model. So not only do I love the infotainment screen in here, having the maps up on the one side, and then I can just click and have my Apple CarPlay on the other side. I can take calls, I can text, I can do all that stuff without messing with my phone while it's being charged up on the wireless charger. And like I said, there's lots of comfort in here. I can find a place where I'm comfortable, USB charging, tons of legroom and space in here. I think if you're looking at an EV or even a crossover SUV, I think you gotta add the Ariya to your list to come out and take for a spin. So that was just a quick look and drive in the new Ariya. Now, if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive for yourself, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by any one of our Nissan locations. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.